Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Eric.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't hear anything either.
Nothing.
Okay,
great.
so our upstairs neighbors have adopted this new workout regimen where they don't. Let's say like
we do yoga.
Yeah, we do yoga.
They jump on our ceiling.
That's it.
Which is their floor.
Yeah.
So can I be mad?
Yes.
Yes.
Because it's not even like it's not jump rope. It's not like it's all it is just like gum 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 gum.
Oh, it's a party.
Maybe.
See, it's always funny to me when you do it at that tempo because that's way faster than they're doing it.
Gum gum gum.
No, so okay, so every night, basically at dinner time,
well, it's 6 to 7.
They are there doing this.
It's their way of supporting
Dance
the frontline
revolution.
workers.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
they do from 6 to 7, and then everybody claps for 5 minutes.
They're staying active upstairs. Let's say that we wanted to bring an end to that, and we're gonna go up there. Hold on.
Yeah,
we're gonna go up there.
I'm listening. You want to bring an end to it.
You want to know what?
I mean, I do have a baseball bat.
In the year and a few months that we've lived here, I've never taken the elevator upstairs. Only downstairs to do the laundry.
Right. Well, we are on the first floor.
We're on the first floor. Never been to the second floor.
What do you think is up there?
Jeff, I have no idea. But
what if it's just a warehouse?
Now I'm curious. That would be great. And it's just Jadakiss and Allen Iverson doing the Reebok commercial. So shout out to Trackmasters. It's all coming back to me now. So we go upstairs. Obviously, we have to wear masks to approach them. If you knock on the door and they answer, and let's for this hypothetical situation, say we didn't bring the baseball bat. What do you say to someone?
Big fan.
Yeah.
I love your work. Thank you
every night.
I've never approached a neighbor about a thing that they've done, I don't think.
I have.
I know you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to
at
talk
the old
to
building.
Yeah, you had to talk to the guy for clipping his toenails in the
stairwell right outside our apartment.
And how did that go?
Not well.
Yeah.
I had like big sort of like, puff up my chest, like walk up to him like
energy.
I'm going to take care of this right now. And by the way, big guy, like, sitting there clipping his nails, and I was just like, he turns to me and he just like stares at me. He's like, "What?" And I was like, "Why are you doing that?" And he goes, "I got kids." And what can you say? I was like,
yeah, but then you did the weird thing, which is that you went on the elevator like that was your original.
No, I was like,
original plan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check the mail.
Yeah,
like he doesn't care.
Yeah,
there was no mail.
You had a whole backstory for your character,
and he kept clipping his nails. It's, listen. I clip my nails. You clip your nails. People clip their nails.
Yeah, but nobody does it in the hallway.
Right. So, but you have to understand the sound of it. Right outside my door.
I mean, it's a bad sound regardless.
Drove me nuts.
Yeah.
Like, I have no problem, clipping my nails, hearing that noise in the bathroom.
Yeah.
But outside my door, like, I was, I was going to go nuts. I didn't know what to do. And then
you did nothing.
He has kids.
You did nothing.
What can I do? He has children. Like it's going to clip up and go into their eye.
No, maybe my feeling when he said that, when you told me he said that.
Yes.
I was like, maybe he can't like get a free moment to clip his nails. Like I didn't think it was like a
safety issue.
Yeah.
Should I have offered him goggles? Because that was my first thought.
I think you should have offered him therapy. Like given him like a shoulder to lean on. Been like, hey man, like, are you okay?
So anyway, we have these upstairs neighbors. Let's say we're going to approach them. You knock on the door.
Yeah.
First thing that you say to them, to these new neighbors for the first time, you've lived in this building a year plus, and you are going to say what?
Can I join in? I just want a friend.
Send me on my way.
Can I jump with you for an hour?
Send me on my way.
Way.
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 Wow. Okay. How many people
I would like to hold my little hand.
How many people who listen to this podcast are going to know that reference? If you do, let us know. No.
First of all,
don't couch it.
Everybody will.
Okay.
And everybody's going to be like, wow.
If you know that reference.
Very cool that they are doing that.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Leave a comment on Twitter or Instagram. Let's make this, I don't know.
I guarantee we will get 1,000 comments.
Jeff, Who's on the podcast today?
On the podcast today is TM88.
Super producer from Atlanta, Georgia. Shout out to TM. Man, Taylor Gang affiliate. He's worked with everybody from Drake to Future to Thug to...
Chief Keef, Lil Uzi.
I mean, just the list really does go on and on. 808 Mafia, Southside, Metro, everyone involved in that. It's just... a
Lex Luger.
The sound of a generation.
Yes.
TM88.
TM88.
He has a new song out, and it is called
Blue Jean Bandit.
That's right. It is out right now.
So
go press play on all the DSPs.
Every single one.
Just do it right now.
Yeah.
Jeff,
1,000 comments.
Really, really fun guy. We never, spoke to him, never met him in person.
But you can tell.
That we never spoke to him?
You can tell that you've never spoken to him. You can tell that he's a really fun guy. I mean, like, his hair is... I think that he moves with an energy where you're like, this guy seems fun.
His hair is fun.
His hair is fun.
Sunglasses are fun.
Yeah.
His 808s are fun.
Blue Jean Bandit.
He's a fun guy. He's
a
fun guy. Has a lot of great stories. It was a pleasure to talk to him, and you guys will really enjoy that. And then
Andrew Barber, who is also fun.
Fake Shore Drive. You know him from there. He is, he's transitioned from being the blogger, right? Started that Midwest blog that really put so many artists on from Chicago and Detroit and all around that region to becoming a manager, to becoming a big part of cultural commentary, to becoming this guy where it's like, he pulls out these clips and starts a conversation on Twitter that just takes over the timeline. And he's super important to us. He's super important to the culture. He's one of the smartest people that we know in or out of the music business. He's a great family man.
I feel like we haven't...
He is very fun.
Yeah.
He doesn't have like TM88 hair.
No, but few do.
That's right. He is fun on his own. Shout out to Chicago's own Andrew Barber, Fake Shore Drive.
Indiana University graduate.
Right. He is.
I also want to shout out our third guest.
Yes.
Kim Chanel.
Shout out to Kim Chanel from Audio Mac. Before that, she was at different labels here in New York City, but she's not from New York City.
No.
She's from Philadelphia. Kimmy from Philly. Julie from Philly? Kimmy from Philly. Shout out to Kim Chanel.
Kimmy from Phimmy.
Kimmy from Phimmy. Right, yeah. Isn't that what I said?
Yeah.
Shout out to Kim Chanel, who is a great social media person, a great live event person.
When you say Kimmy from Phimmy,
yeah,
like Kimmy from Phimmy. Sounds like you're doing like a Joy Behar impression. Like, who cares? Kimmy from Phimmy.
Shout out to Kim. It was great to catch up with her. She has a lot to say about the future of live shows and what she misses most about being outside. Look forward to that. Shout out to TM88. Shout out to Andrew Barber. Shout out to Kim Chanel.
Before we get into this whole thing,
yes,
I want to say that we have a Patreon.
Yes.
Patreon. What is Patreon?
What is Patreon, Jeff?
Eric, you've been here this entire time.
For the people.
Patreon.com/itsthereal. It is a service where people can contribute to the thing that we are doing and be a part of this. And for your efforts, we will give you t-shirts. We will give you live experiences online, or when the doors open up,
live experiences in real life.
And so it's a thing where if you believe in this platform,
this independent platform,
then we're going to do all that we can to make your money worth it. Like, you put your money in, we're going to make your money worth it.
Yeah, you become part of this operation.
Yeah.
It can feel sometimes as if we're just two guys who are doing all the booking, all the editing, all the hosting, all the video work, all the promotions, and we are. But with your help, it feels like we're not alone in this. And I think if you really support us, if you really believe in what It's The Real is, come on over, patreon.com/itsthereal. A bunch of people have joined in the last couple of days, and we really appreciate you. We appreciate everybody who's been with us for the last 3 months of doing Patreon. We really appreciate everybody who's been putting us onto their friends' radars, especially in the last 3 months. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep going as long as it takes. We're going to keep building this brand, and with you guys and your help, we will take it very far and stay doing great work. That's all we want to do. We want to do great work, and with your guys' help, we will. So shout out to everybody at patreon.com/itsthereal. Now, Jeff, let's call down to our new friend, TM88.
Yo, what's up, bro?
TM, what's happening?
What up?
Cooling it.
First of all, we are the biggest 808 Mafia fans. We appreciate everything that you've done for your entire career. We are so excited that you and Southside have dropped Blue Jean Bandit with Thug and Future and Moneybagg Yo.
Oh shit.
But
that's dope.
I do want to bring up first and foremost, because we have a lot of friends in common, but one of our friends, A-Track, puts on this Goldie Awards event every year, and we saw you there as one of the judges. I forget if it was this past year or the year before. And
I think it was this past year.
Yeah, and it's a producer battle, it's a beat battle, it is a DJ battle. When you think of these times right now where everybody is at home and you have a lot of, people who are aux core DJs, of course, but there's a lot of people now who are really like getting into their bag and learning the craft and dedicating their time and their focus now that they're stuck in these four walls during quarantine. What do you think of what DJs will look like coming out of this thing?
Man, look wise or
yeah, either way.
Yeah, everybody's hair's gonna be crazy. Everybody's beards are gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah, I mean, bro, I feel like a lot of people not getting haircuts right now.
Yeah.
Especially me. I'm looking rough as shit, but like, I mean, I feel like, as far as on the talent scale, I feel like a lot of people is gonna come out beasting, like going crazy, because I can see the producers right now. Like a lot of stuff that's coming out, but if you go on their pages and you start looking at some of the stuff they're making, it's like, damn, everybody on steroids right now. So, yeah, so I feel like the music is gonna be way better. It's gonna be way more energy. It's gonna be, of course, it's gonna be good vibes, a lot of good vibes, because everybody haven't been able to see each other.
Yeah,
and once you get in that mode to collabing with people again, it's gonna be like, oh shit, I learned something new, you learned something new, and we learned how to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some epic shit. So.
You're somebody who is like super collaborative, and during this time, is it easier or harder for you to like send? I mean, it's easy, I'm sure, to send files back and forth, but do you get that same sort of energy when you're not in the same room as people?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's sort of the same because even before quarantine, I was still doing half and half. I go in the studio with artists, or I would email the record. But I also make sure that they're doing the songs, and if they need input or anything like that. So transitioning to what's going on now is like it's really easy for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of artists got home studios now, and they're real eager to record. So it's easier to get them the beats and for them to really sit down and like listen to your beats. Soon as they get the beats, it's like, oh shit, we can load up and just go ahead and rap, because you got nothing but time. Can nobody do shows? There's no one going to football games, basketball games, anything that's going on. Like, it's nobody going there. So you have nothing but time on your hands.
It's easier for people to record or to lock in and catch a vibe at home, but it's also harder for them to actually record because nobody knows how to record themselves.
I mean, a lot of artists do know how to record themselves now. Like, I seen quite a bit of artists like kind of, they might not know how to mix their shit, but they can get the vocals down. As long as you can get the vocals down, then you can get them mixed, and you have a good record. But a lot of artists are like, their engineers are stuck to their hip. They're quarantining with the engineers, So, I mean, that's a smart thing to do too.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? We had an episode that we did just the other day with Leslie Braithwaite, with Alex Toomey, and with Anthony Cruz, who works with Meek Mill. When you think about mix engineers and you think about like guys who do mastering, like who are the type of people that you really want to work with to get the sound that you want to get, and what do you look for in those people?
I mean, I really work with Alex a lot. I love Alex sound from jump. Like when I met Alex, I think I met Alex probably like 7 years ago or some shit. But we met in the studio, all of us together, and we knew like Alex was like, once he showed us his mix, we knew like Alex was it. Like he always thought forward. You know what I'm saying? Like he never just tried to stay in the box and mix and just get the basic vocal mix. He always put the extra effects on there to make it sound like next level. So Alex, I love working with him. And I R.I.P. Seth, the late Seth Perkins. Man, he's a real wizard. Like, and he know what beats. he know what beats to play at the right time to make Future just go crazy. Like, I don't know, man. Engineers, man, if we didn't have the engineers, bro, I don't think none of us would be nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Because the engineer is in the middle. So it's like, okay, you're making the beats, but the rapper is rapping, but who's going to mix the shit? You know? So.
Yeah. Can you take us back to 2013 and talk about working with Gucci back then?
Oh, yeah. Man, it was epic. It was one of them, like, you finally get to be one of your idols every day.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Gucci, you know, we'll be in the studio. I wake up in the morning. I go straight to the studio. Gucci in there recording. He passed you a whole bunch of blunts. He's like, bro, before we record, we can roll this. We can roll 6 boxes of switches. And then we'll roll up all the blunts and shit. And then he'll be like, load the beats up. We load it up. It was, I think, you know, Uzi's engineer, Keisha.
Yeah.
She used to be Gucci's engineer. She used to be Gucci's engineer. And, like, she'll be with us every day until Sunday. He'll let her out to go to church and stuff, you know, get herself together, go to church, and then she'll come straight back Monday morning. So, you know, it was epic. You know, Gucci, he showed a lot of love. It's super fun being in the studio with Gucci.
Yeah,
know?
when you think back to the World War series, like what is that like whole few volumes mean to you?
The World War series, man, that was originally supposed to just be me. The original idea was supposed to be me and Metro. So me and Metro Boomin was at the studio every day, just like kicking it with Guwap, making songs, and then Gucci called us and was like, I got an idea. So he was like, you and Metro tweet out, I got the best beats right now. I got the best songs for Gucci Man right now. It was supposed to start like a little fake beef, you know, like not like a beef, but you know, friendly competition.
Yeah.
And so me and Metro, we tweeted out. We was like, bet. We called each other. We was like, man, we're gonna do it. We're gonna tweet it out. We tweeted out, and then Gucci was like, we're gonna drop these projects on Friday. But I don't know. Something happened to where I think me and Metro had we had other studio sessions going on, and we couldn't get back up with Gucci that week. And I guess he had like different producers pulling in and stuff. So he came up with the idea of doing a World War series where you can just like all these producers on this one, all these producers on that one, all these producers on the next one. So it was like it was smart.
Yeah.
It was a dope idea though. So.
Can you talk about your relationship with Southside, how it's grown throughout the years, and what you really appreciate about the way he approaches music?
Man, Sizzle, man, bro. If it weren't for Sizzle, bro, I probably wouldn't even be in the game, bro. To be honest, it was like that was one of them last, like, you know, he like my little bro. But, you know, we wasn't around each other for a minute. While he was doing his thing, I was doing my thing.
Yeah.
And then, but he was advancing in his career. Every time I saw him, he was just lit up. It was stuff going on. And, like, you know, we finally linked back up. And we was like, bro, we need to start this production company, bro. We need to go crazy, bro. Like, we used to make beats together. Like, we can do it again. So, you know, we made up 808 Mafia.
Yeah.
But what I love about Sizzle is, bro, he never quit. He never stopped. He's working 24/7, and you know what I'm saying. He might talk a big game, but he bag it up. You know what I'm saying. He don't just talk it and not bag it up.
Yeah.
So I just love that. You know, he put in a lot of work, and you know, I admire like his production skills. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Like, it make me want to go in the studio and make 100 beats every time I hear his beat.
That's
and then
fire.
He'll say some shit like, he say, you like this beat? I'm like, bro, this shit is so hard. He was like, man, this shit ain't nothing. I made this shit in 3 minutes. So, like, yeah, man, Sizzle, bro, like, he really a dope. And I really, you know, I appreciate, you know, just him shining his light on me so I can shine my light on others.
Yeah. What's a song that like you were most excited to hear your tag on?
Man, the first track I was most excited to hear my tag on was Danny Glover. When me and Southside did that one. And I was mostly proud of the fact that, like, we didn't know Thug was going to use the song as a single or what he was going to do. We had the song, and we was like, man, we was dropping. Metro had just dropped his mixtape, and he was helping us drop ours. So it was on something like, man, this Thug song is crazy. Man, when we drop this, it's going to be crazy. So we had a whole bunch of songs, and we put it was number 1 on the project. When it dropped on live mixtape, it went crazy. I mean, it went bananas. And, like, the internet was going crazy. Thug had called us and was like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? He was so mad. But then, like, a couple hours later, he called back, like, bro, but y'all just don't know what y'all did. Y'all just went crazy, whoop-de-whoop. So, but I don't know, bro, just hearing Danny Glover and the way it came out, and then us being able to reach out and put Nicki Minaj on it, me and Southside reached out to her management and, you know, and people in between, and finally got her on the record, and it made it go even further, you know?
What you and Southside and Metro created by all getting on one track, is there any way to organically create that once more? Or does it feel like that was such a moment back then? Yeah.
I mean, it was a moment, but, you know, you have the power to create multiple moments. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, every time me, Sizzle, and Metro, we all link up, we'll cook 10, 12, 15 beats every time we link up. Like, if we're in the studio setting, you know, so the vibe is always there. Like, we're brothers at the end of the day. So, like, we understand, like, you know, we all got a lot of stuff going on. We got to work and we got stuff to do. But, you know, we you know, you cherish the time that you do have with you know, with your buddies and stuff, you know, creating music, creating that vibe, because, you know, around those days, that was legendary. We kind of didn't understand it at the time, you know, because we was in it and it was a lot going on. But, like, when you look back now, it's like, man, it's crazy to like even think about us being up and coming producers, but having all the major artists pull up to the studio on us. We wasn't pulling up on the artists was pulling up on us.
Yeah.
So we was able to get the footage and get the songs. So it made our careers like bigger than life type shit on the producer end type. You know what I'm saying? Because we was able to document it and get the work done at the same time for the fans to be able to see it, because we was putting it out on 808 Mafia TV. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, so we can recreate it anytime.
Piggybacking off of that question, what was the session like when Chief Keef did Where He Get That, which has, like, it's all three of you and then also Sunny Digital's on that?
Bro, if I could think back, I don't remember who did what, but I remember the process. And the process, you know, I never forget the process. You know, it's somebody will sit down and start something, and we be like, oh shit, that's hard. And then somebody else will he'll get up, somebody will sit down, add what they're gonna add, then somebody else add what they're gonna add. Then, you know, we keep it going. You know, so because it's never on some shit where we're like, oh man, he added too much, he gonna get more money. Bro, we split it down the middle. So it's really no, you know what I'm saying? We really have no issues. And we don't even be thinking about money when we making beats. It's like, we cooking up trying to make a new sound or make a new vibe.
TM, is there any song that came out that you were shocked to hear your sounds on?
Let me see. Bro, I'm gonna be honest. I was shocked to even be on the Drake album, bro.
Really?
To be honest. Yeah. And, you know, shout out Travis Scott. You know, he helped put that shit together. You know, just working with him but it did elevate my beats and made me, I don't know, it made me go extra, like, to you know, the extra mile just to try to make sure my production just sounds super clean and, you know, just, you know, real rock star shit.
Yeah. I mean, how did you find out that you were on Drake's album?
I mean, I knew I found out a couple hours before the album came out, like, because the album was dropping like at 10 o'clock that morning or some shit. And me and Trav, we was working on Trav, Wonder Girl, and Alan Riddler. We was working on the beat, not the beat and the song for like a month and a half. So it was on something like Drake calls, like, yeah, it's only a couple of hours until y'all can turn it in. But we went in the studio for the rest of that day. We didn't turn in the song until I think about 2-3 in the morning. It was one of those like, bro, when Drake sent back the flame emojis, I knew it. It was over with. We lost it. Like, everybody went crazy in the studio. Just like, yeah, we did it. It's over with.
Another one of our friends that we have in common is Will Dezombak from Taylor Gang. Can you give us a good Will story?
Man, Will, bro, he's one epic guy, bro. I'm so happy I met him. Like, he's one of my best friends. So, he gave me a lot of knowledge on, what's going on. We kick shit, kick knowledge to each other. One Will story that I could give, let me see. Oh, okay, so I'm leaving Atlanta. I get on the flight, and I'm thinking, like, when I get to LA, I'm just going to meet the label. We're going to chop it up. He pulls up in his new Maserati. First he's surprising me with the car, because he's telling me not to go crazy and buy a whole bunch of cars and shit. So he pull up in a Maserati, and he's like, oh, check out my new whip. Bro, he goes in the trunk and pulls out a pound of KK.
Yeah.
But he gave me a whole pound of KK.
Yo. That's
out
great.
of the brand new car. I'm like, bro, Will, I don't know, bro. Will, one of the best people I ever met, bro.
He's a great dude.
Yeah.
Does Spotify or anybody give you, when you get like 1 billion plays for EXO Tour Life, like, is there like a plaque that even sums that up, or like do they send you anything? Like, do you get like a pair of sweatpants? Like, what comes in the mail when you get 1 billion streams on EXO Tour Life?
A check.
No, there you go.
that is the best.
That was always in question, because for a while Atlantic hadn't paid you, so that's very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best thing you can ask for. Like, some plays would be cool, but once your royalty statement come in, you don't even want nothing else. It's like, bro, I got it.
Yeah, you got that check. Next, you get the Maserati, and you got a pound of KK, so that's all good.
For sure.
Yo, TM, Blue Jean Bandit is the song. Give us a little background on how Future and Thug and Yo got together.
Blue Jean Bandit. Me and Southside, new single, featuring Young Thug, Future, Moneybagg Yo. We recorded, I think one night, me and Southside maybe recorded 15, 20 songs with Thug, and then we pulled up the next day and recorded about 15, 20 more. And so we was working on like a joint project. I don't know what we was gonna call it, but it was gonna be 808 Mafia and Young Thug. And eventually, days passed by, weeks, and Thug, decided he's working on his album, and we was like, all right, cool. So let me try to figure out which song I want to push for my project. So me and Southside sat down, went through a few songs, and sent Thug the songs, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to use these two. You can run with the other one. We was like, cool. So Southside called Future, put Future on there. We put Moneybagg Yo on there, and we got Blue Jean Bandit.
This quarantine thing is seemingly no end in sight, but our hope is when this is all over, one day, whether it's a year from now or 6 months from now or whenever it is, we can sit down, have a full hour-and-a-half conversation with you, because you have the best energy, you have the best music, and there's no doubt about that. And we look forward
appreciate it, bro.
We look forward to that day when we can make it happen. And until then, be safe and keep staying creative and keep putting out that fire. And we'll talk to you soon. All right?
You guys too. Thanks, bro.
And now, Jeff, let's get on the phone with our friend out there in Chicago, Fake Shore Drive's own Andrew Barber.
Hello.
Andrew!
What up?
Hey.
What's happening?
The Brothers Rosenthal. How are we?
We're doing very well. How are you doing out there in Chicago? How's your family doing? How is the city doing?
Oh, it's okay. Family's good. Everybody's been healthy. Well, I guess I wasn't healthy. I think I actually had it
Really?
a couple weeks ago, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Like what did your body go through?
Man, so, I basically, I had some people that were in my house that tested positive for it. Three people that had been in here.
Wow.
And of course, once you hear something like that, you just automatically expect the worst. And like any little thing, any little like ache or cough or anything makes you feel like, you automatically go to your head and you're like, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
But I didn't necessarily think I had it until I lost my sense of smell and taste.
Did.
Which is like a very common thing.
Right. My homie, my good buddy who's a doctor in New Orleans who he's been working in the ICU down there since, fighting it since March. He actually had it as well. And he's basically said, if you had direct exposure to it and then you had the loss of smell and taste, like that's like a 99% guarantee you probably had it.
Yeah.
He's like, that's probably better than a swab test.
So what did this do to you, and how did it affect you on a daily basis? Did it knock you out, or was it just something that was just like a hindrance to the rest of your day?
It was like a hindrance, and like I said, I don't know for sure. I'm gonna get an antibody test, here soon when they become more readily available to confirm. But like, it made me feel weird. Like it felt like it didn't like take me out. It wasn't like some of these other experiences that you hear about, like where people feel like they can't move, they can hardly walk, and they can't breathe. Like it wasn't that extreme. Like I did have some labored breathing, but it wasn't anything like, it kind of felt like I was like out of breath, but it wasn't like I couldn't get a breath. And I had some aches and stuff, but it wasn't like I couldn't walk. It just felt like a cold, like a cold or like a sinus infection almost.
Man.
And so it was weird, but I was still doing like what I had to do. I've been doing different things, and it didn't really slow me down like that. I was just like really tired.
Wait, by the way, there's no worse description than I was doing what I had to do. I was doing different things.
Yeah, that was a terrible description. But what I was trying to say was I was doing like video calls, and I was doing Zoom calls, and I was doing podcasts,
like all
like
the
that.
things like in your normal routine that we all do, like during quarantine. But it's just like, but in the back of your mind, or like throughout all of this, you're still dealing with what could be coronavirus. Yeah.
And, more so because I have 2 young kids, I was more worried about that, and, my wife and stuff, but they were all fine.
That's good.
They had no symptoms. So if they had it too, they were asymptomatic. So, I just treated it like I had, not that I can leave and go anywhere anyway, but I just, really stayed inside for 2 weeks.
Yeah. So what is the general temperature of the city right now?
It's, people are getting antsy. As I'm sure it's the same thing in New York or everywhere. Like as the weather is breaking and getting nicer, people are, outside. People are, getting tired of it. Like the grocery store was like a nightclub over the weekend. It was like one in, one out. Like I've never seen a grocery store look like a South by Southwest party where they got somebody at the door, one in, one out. That was different. But, it's just weird. It's just a weird feeling, and it's, it's sad. It's just not it's not a good vibe, but people are making it work.
Yeah. Well, listen, if there's one thing that has not changed before COVID-19, during COVID-19, and it definitely won't change afterwards, is that Lil Durk is back on top of the charts. Shout out to Durk. Have you ever thought about how far he's come, and how he's really been the most consistent player that has come out of the Midwest in the last maybe like 7 years?
Great segue.
Thank you.
Durk was always special from day one. Like you knew he was going to be, and that's the thing, man. You don't know what's going to happen with any artist's career, and a lot of time that it comes down to what kind of fight the artist has, because Durk has had so many ups and downs from the very beginning. I mean, you go all the way back to when he took that deal, and with No ID, and those guys signed him in 20. Him and Reese took the deal at the same time
to Def Jam.
Think of all the ups and downs that he's had, and so much pain and suffering, and win and then losses, and now he's just found his footing, and I'm super happy for him and his team. They're all really good people. Guys that I've known for a long time, manage him now. And I think, he's a fighter, man. He had that will to succeed and to continue to thrive in the industry. And he's become one of the most copied artists, so.
And I think that if people look to the most influential artist of the last decade, Dirk is absolutely up there. I think, everyone likes to say, oh, it's very easy to say Chicago is, Chief Keef, and he is the one who really set it off. But Dirk has taken that mantle, and he's really run with it and changed the game.
Absolutely. And a lot of the younger artists look up to him. And and he's not even an elder statesman.
Yeah.
We're talking about a guy that's probably only 24, 25 at this point.
Crazy.
But is still influenced a generation of people. And so, when all those artists popped off in 2012 and, Chicago got really hot, you really had no idea who was going to last or stand the test of time. And here we are, 8 years later, and he's bigger than he's ever been. So that goes against everything that we're kind of taught in the music business. After your first album, it's all kind of downhill, or you never get that big. But he just continuously climbs and keeps getting bigger. So props to him and shout out to him. You really got to have a strong will to do that, especially with all that he's been through.
Yeah. Well, I mean, going back, I feel like there have been a bunch of artists who obviously got their start on Fake Shore Drive. What was your first interaction with Juice WRLD?
I only had met Juice WRLD a couple times, and that was through Valet. Juice WRLD, Valet and Juice kind of started popping around the same time, and they had some mutual friends early on, and so they were recording pretty heavily, just as Juice WRLD was becoming a huge star. And they actually have 3 or 4 songs together. 3 of them which have leaked, since his passing, unfortunately. But, that's how I met him, was through Valet, just being in the studio, and we hooked up with them at the BET Hip Hop Awards a couple years ago in LA. And, Juice WRLD was a kid, man, just a happy, excited to be here, just had a lot of good energy around him. So it's just such an unfortunate thing what happened to him.
Absolutely. You, like us, have been glued to Instagram for all of these versus battles. Shout out to Timbaland and Swiss for really cornering the market on what culture can be during this time when we're all stuck inside. And I think that every battle, whether it's been a visual or audio success, has been something to talk about and something for us all to grab onto and appreciate. The next one that's coming up is Nelly and Ludacris. And does that take you back to a time when, Timbaland was in his was really in his apex, and Luda comes out and really just takes over the world? I think people look to him now and they're like, oh yeah, Ludacris the actor, or Ludacris is on stage at the Comedy Central roast, or Ludacris is in commercials. Ludacris was the guy, and then also Nelly was the guy. Can you talk about where you were in those early 2000s years, and what do you appreciate about their music all these years later?
Yeah, and what's crazy about the Nelly and Ludacris connection is those dudes blew up within 6 months of each other.
Yeah.
Maybe not even that. It might have been 3 or 4 months, because I would say summer of 2000, because we're coming up on 20 years, that infamous summer when it was Eminem versus Nelly.
Yeah.
And I think that's a discussion that is going to eventually hit the timeline. Those dudes were duking it out over the summer of 2000. One of them was number one on the charts pretty much that entire summer. It's they just kept battling back and forth. New songs would drop. One would hit number one would go. And then these were 2 artists from the Midwest. And me being a Midwest guy, that was, an incredible thing to see, guys from my region, reach this apex like that. And then, Ludacris is also a Midwest guy originally. He's from the Chicagoland area, I believe Oak Park or somewhere from around there. But
I had no idea.
Yeah, I think he went to Oak Park High School for a little bit, but I'm not 100% sure. I could be wrong, but he definitely lived in the Chicagoland area at some point, and before he went to Atlanta.
Is that how the Shauna connection happened?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
I'm not sure if that's how. I think that might have came through Cap One, actually, who was in Atlanta, but there is a connection there. And it was just crazy. Like, it's weird how some things their legacies become like jokes, or people don't take them seriously. But I think the great thing about these versus battles it's giving people their flowers, and I kind of hate that expression, but it is giving people their flowers in real time now, and it's a celebration, where it is a battle, but it's also more so a celebration. So it's been fun to see people that may not get the credit that they deserve now, like, being celebrated like this, and I think it has been beneficial for everyone.
Yeah, I think, like, when you talk about all these battles, RZA and Primo is certainly for a subsect of this huge genre. But, and Jill and Erica is certainly for a subsect. And then you have, like, the bigger ones or the broader ones when you have, like, Lil Jon or Scott Storch or whoever, The Dream. But when you talk about Nelly and you talk about Ludacris, that hits so central to who Jeff and I are and how we grew up and what we appreciate in that sound. Even though we're not listening to that on a regular basis now, it really is like a comfort, especially during these times. And so it's a pleasure to think, like, oh man, is Luda going to go in his bag and play, like, Fat Rabbit, pull that out like early or something like that, and really go in for those ones that are, like, not necessarily the biggest smashes, but mean the most to us.
Right, and that's what it's all about. Like, you don't always have to go for the big records or the big singles, but, a lot of those album cuts meant stuff to people. And, we're all around the same age, and, like, those were our formative years. Like, that's what we were going to high school or college parties to, or, having some of our first experiences in life to those records. So, they mean something to us. And I think it's really cool to see that they're still celebrated, 20 years later.
Yeah. I mean, like, whatever happened, by the way, with the 3-6 and Bone Thugs thing?
That's a great question, because all of a sudden, that got canceled. I was tuning in. I was, like, literally clicking on, and I saw somebody say it had been postponed. And DJ went to DJ Paul's page, and he's like, "Yeah, it's going on Versus," and you haven't heard anything about it since. I hope.
Yeah, and now, like, more things keep getting announced. It's just like, I don't know what's happening. I hope it happens. Like, that feels like such a huge event, also very central to my life. Mm-hmm. I do think that 3-6 is going to absolutely annihilate Bone Thugs, but I think that it's just, like, I'm so excited for that one.
See, here's the thing. I'm hoping Versus didn't just sign them to shelf them. We don't want to get this thing to get too big, because people were really excited about that. And I hope it still happens, because, maybe they don't think of it as like a main event. It's probably not going to do the numbers of, Jill and Erica or Teddy and Babyface, but it will have a huge number of people there, and people, want that. I think you're sleeping on Bone Thugs. I mean, I think everybody, that's one of those RZA Primo things where everybody was sleeping on RZA.
Yeah.
And I think everybody is going to be sleeping on Bone. And Bone has a lot of records, man. They sold a lot of records and had a lot of hits.
Yeah, well, are you anticipating that Bone's going to show up dressed like the way RZA was dressed up? Because that really, sort of gave that extra oomph.
Look, that sold it. Like, he... With the mechanic vest on in the driving gloves. Like, I mean, he came to win that night. That's all I'm going to say. He came to win.
Well, okay, so one last thing about the Luda and Nelly battle.
I could go on for hours about this.
No, I understand. Yeah. But Andrew, do you have a prediction? Because everybody is saying, look, Ludacris's catalog is just eons long, and Nelly's going to have a hard fight, I think ahead of him.
The thing about Nelly is that he doesn't have any features really. Like, no one was like, hey, let me get that feature with Nelly, unless it's like Dilemma was his song. Yeah, I don't know.
Dilemma was his song, and then he had, like, Where the Party At.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a huge record. And there's a couple other features that he had, like Shake Your Tail Feather. Well, I guess that's kind of his and Diddy's song and Murphy Lee's song. I mean, I don't know who you call that. That was that song won a Grammy.
Which is wild.
Listen, all he needs is 20. That's all he needs.
Yeah, no, I mean, he'll definitely have 20 songs. My feeling is that Luda has just so many features and is just like, people sleep on like Luda. People sleep on both of them, but people sleep on Luda.
Dude, his featured catalog is crazy because I tweeted something to that effect the other night after they announced it. And I went and looked and I was just like, dude, his features were crazy. Like before you could just stay in people's faces on social media like Instagram or Twitter. Like, that's how you stay in people's faces now. You stay on the timeline, right?
Yeah.
But how did you do that in 2001, 2002? How did you stay on 106 and Park? How did you stay on, TRL? You were on features. And like, when you really go back and think about it, for 5 years or whatever, Ludacris never went away. Like, he was always on. He may not have had an album out, but he was at least on somebody's hit.
And it may not have just been on the song. He destroyed the song and owned the song.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. So predictions.
I think that Luda takes it. But what's a song that, like, is such a D-side that you hope that he
pulls it out?
Yeah. And D-side is not a real thing, but let's just say it is.
Who? Nelly?
No, either.
Dude, Nelly has a song called "Shake It Off" that features Pharrell, and it was on the Sweatsuit disc. That's like one of my favorite Nelly songs. That, like, I don't know why they never put it out as a single. I think it was on Suit. I don't know, but it was like don't quote me, but that's a good one.
I like the other one that he did with Pharrell, the one that was like Rick James.
Oh yeah, that's later Nelly, and that's also great.
Yeah,
great song.
Yeah, but I mean, as far like, you guys already nailed it with Fat Rabbit.
Yeah.
Like that's a good one. And then, like, what about his verse on "What Means the World to You" remix?
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's one of my favorite Luda verses. But
I also like the one where I like the Young Buck one.
Oh, Stomp.
Yeah, Stomp.
Stomp?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, bro. I mean, he went at T.I. crazy on that.
Yeah.
Like, that was a big. I mean, that was so big. One of them got taken off the actual album. Whose verse was left off the album? I can't remember, but one of them got cut.
Yeah,
I think Luda got cut.
All right. Well, listen, Andrew. Predictions for the Ludacris and Nelly battle.
Man, I don't. My heart says Nelly, but my brain says Ludacris. He's just got too much.
Yeah, I think you're right. I want to get into live shows, live performances. You are no stranger to putting on shows. You've booked some amazing people, by the way. I don't think there's anything better than getting Master P to come to your show. What do you think now about the next, honestly, like year and a half, where venues are afraid to take on liability, where artists probably will not be given chances, nor will they want to be around other people. We're transitioning into this period now where I guess it's not weird to have Travis Scott doing a virtual performance, or you hear people talk about doing, drive-ins and sort of adapting that, where people can sit in their cars and watch a person on stage. How do you, as someone who has promoted and put on shows and booked shows and dealt with people and felt that energy in a building, how do you feel about this now?
I mean, I've spent a lot of time thinking about this and trying to come up with ideas and speaking with other people. And, I just don't know how you can recreate, the live stuff is cool, and watching somebody perform in their house on a live stream is fine. But, like, nothing compares to the energy of being there, being in a full venue and being a part of that. Like, there's just nothing like that. And it's going to take some time to get, we have no idea how long this thing is going to last. And, as it mutates and gets better or worse, who knows? But nothing will ever take away from that. Like, and even going to a show that's 20% full, if you're going to like a large venue and they only let 20% of the people in there, it's still going to feel weird. It's going to be off, you know?
As somebody who's gone to shows that have like 20% of people there and that's at SOBs, it feels off.
Right, you just feel bad. You just feel gutted. And at this point, it's just like, these people can fill a venue, and it messes with the artist, so you don't necessarily always get the best performance that way. But we have to come up with a solution, because there are so many artists suffering because of this. And, like, I think a lot of times people just think about the big artists, like, of course, a Travis Scott and a Kid Cudi are going to be fine because they can, they're already making a ton of money on tours, but then they can do a partnership with Fortnite, and Fortnite can afford to pay them what they want, to get calls and, everybody involved to do something big. But what about the people that, like, play your local neighborhood festival in the summer, or people who are in blues bands or jazz bands that play at nightclubs in New York City or Chicago every night? Like, those people can't do anything right now.
Or even the audio engineers or the roadies or the light technicians and the people who are on the road too. Yeah.
The trickle down effect is going to be like, it just expands like forever and forever and forever. I even wonder like if any of these places are going to still be open when this is all over with. Like, you don't know what the tail of this is going to look like.
Yeah, Andrew, is there a particular venue that you are so glad that in your life you were able to stand in and feel that energy? Because I know for Jeff and myself, it was a lifelong dream to get to Red Rocks out there in Denver, Colorado, and to be in that environment and just experience that was. I'm so grateful that we were able to do that, especially, considering the world we live in now. Is there a place that was very special for you?
Man, you know what? I never got to Red Rocks, but that would have been dope. I would have liked to have, It's still open though, right? Or is that over with?
No, it's open. I just don't know like the world.
Right. I still have time. I still have time to go to Red Rocks.
I feel like Red Rocks is actually.
You guys went and saw Dave Matthews Band there, didn't you?
No. We saw Chromeo there.
This is slander. I feel like Red Rocks is one of the few places that's positioned well for this world, actually, because it's outside.
Yeah.
And because you wear your mask. That's all you can sort of do.
I think the House of Blues in LA was really dope.
Yeah, same. I love that place.
Before they closed that, you always heard stories about that place, like, and all the legendary stuff that went down there. So I was happy I got to go there. The one on Sunset, I believe, before it was on Sunset, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
And then my favorite venue has been the Double Door here in Chicago, which is now closed. It is now a cooler shop. What is the name of that fancy, expensive cooler company? Whatever they're called. They make coffee mugs. That's where the Double Door is now in Wicker Park. And to me, I swear to God,
that's like CBGB's, changing to a clothing store.
I'm confused as to like what. Yeah, well, John Bravato's just went bankrupt. But
did they really?
Yeah. So shout out to.
So we can
someone.
We can go down there and sort of take over the old CBGB side.
Squatters' rights. Wait, there's a
Squatters' rights. You guys should bring it back. Did you go to CBGB's? Like, I walked by there.
I did go to CBGB's. Yeah,
I never had gone to a show there. That would have been really dope.
I went there. I had some friends in high school who were in punk bands, and we would go down to the city and they would play. And by the way, it was really a dump. It was a terrible place, but I appreciated the history.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, like, how I grew up looking at, pictures of that in magazines, and you hear about it, and then, like, you're just, like, walking down the street in New York, and, like, there it is, and it's just a small storefront. Like,
crazy.
It's crazy, but, shout out to all the music venues, and I hope that, they can make it through this, because when I saw that, they're announcing that, we may not be able to go to a concert again until the fall of 2021. It just, just made my heart sink. And,
yeah, I mean,
it affects everyone.
Well, I mean, like, how closely are you watching that one concert that's happening in Arkansas? That's like the social distance concert where they're only letting in a certain amount of people, and like that could be the model for things moving forward.
Yeah, but is that going to be fun? Are people going to want to do that?
Oh, no, it's definitely not going to be fun. I think that...
Right. I mean, so you have to figure out a way to make it fun. Like, how can we do this?
I mean, there's always drugs,
right? That sounds like a drag.
Like, drugs will make anything fun, I'm sure.
Yeah, but not everybody's off the shits, right? Not everybody's taking the drugs. But, what is going to make people get out of their seats? Get out of their houses again, because people are going to be scared about this for a while, even if we have a vaccine. And with all these crazy ass documentaries going around and planting these ideas in people's heads, people are going to be not want to take these vaccines or not, be like get help or whatever. Like, so who knows what's this could, still too early. The doctors don't know about really much about this disease or virus or whatever. So
Yeah. Well, listen, if we're not going to go to concerts for the next, year and a half, something like that, I am so grateful that out of all the concerts we went to, we were able to go to your South by Southwest show, that Chicago show where you brought out all these Chicago artists, plus French Montana was incredible. I'm glad also we got to see you were there at Highline Ballroom when Future performed, right?
Yeah,
that was
Future
a great show.
King Louis, remember that?
Absolutely,
yeah. If we don't have concerts, where am I going to see you guys?
I guess just on Zoom. But you know what, Andrew?
I only see you at concert events.
That's not true.
I think the last time I saw you was at the Boiler Room in New York, right?
Yes, but yes, we have mostly hung out at concerts, but that is not the only place we have hung out. We've also hung out in the park.
The last place I saw you was at South by Southwest.
We also saw you at our apartment.
No, actually, listen.
Andrew came by our old apartment.
Really?
I did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did. I just came over there one day and we hung out.
Oh, right. Yeah, because I was thinking we did the interview on the podcast out in Los Angeles.
Yeah, which is not where we live.
Yep. Yeah. But anyway, listen, Andrew, we love you. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Stay inside. Stay creative. And we'll look forward to talking to you very soon. All right?
Hey, one last thing.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen, for having me on. I thought I was blackballed from the show or something like that.
No, it's like Michael Jordan. You just need to send the fax out. I'm back.
Yeah, I'm back. So I'm thank you guys for having me on, and salute to you guys for doing this every single day. Like, you guys are great, and you be keeping my spirits up. So thank you for all you guys do, and making this a little bit easier for everybody else.
Thank you very much.
And before I sign off, I tell this story all the time. When you guys came to that French Montana show at South by Southwest, we were all sitting in the box up top. And remember, he came out, and that's when he premiered.
Unforgettable.
Yeah. And he just let it play for a half an hour, just kept walking back and starting it over.
And by the way, it did not go well.
I know.
Like, nobody.
Now people were leaving. Like, he was just dancing by himself on the stage.
And the next thing you know, he's right up there with Kendrick Lamar. So here we are. Thanks to you, Andrew.
We saw history, guys.
I know. Andrew, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, peace.
And now, Jeff, let's call over to Philadelphia, PA, and get on the phone with our friend from Audio Mac, Kim Chanel.
Hello.
Kim!
What up?
Hey, what's up, y'all?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing all right. How are you doing in general? How's life treating you? How's your day-to-day? How are you getting by?
It's good. It's been like, I have my days just like everybody else, but I think I'm just grateful for this time to like be able to like just to be able to like sit down. I think this first quarter I've been like running around just like keeping busy, like and traveling like to work related events that we've been throwing. But for the most part, like it's a lot, but it can be. I have my days where I'm just like chill, so.
Yeah, I mean, like, is today one of those, like, I saw you tweet some things, I saw you, like, retweet somebody where somebody was just like, I feel so crazy every single day, and I need, like, therapy, basically, and you were just like, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
Yes, because it's just, I think therapy is, like, a lot of us are going to need that coming out of this, just because it's, like, it's a different, everybody's placed in this position, and we're all in the same boat, where we have to just stand still and our lives are at hold. So I think like everybody's going to need that at some point, just an outlet to talk to. Like some people may have different forms of therapy, so which is always good. So it's just like I think everybody, it's just like a different situation for all of us. So
yeah. So where do you find comfort every day? Like what is your center?
Every day, I think for the most part, like I work out. I just started like working out and stuff like that because I'm trying to, come out of this pandemic, looking snatched.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So like working out, and then also like I also DJ on the side. So like that's like whenever I do listen to music, that's like my outlet as far as like because I like to transition songs. So like that's my way of coping with everything. So it's cool. And yeah, like I DJ on the side, like so it's just like a fun thing to do for me as a hobby.
Well,
so, yeah.
Kim, we've known you. I mean, like I feel like we've really known you for the past like year, but like I've seen you for the past like numerous amount of years, ever since you came to New York from Philly. And I want to know, like, first of all, how did you get here? Like, what was the first thing that brought you to New York?
So pretty much, I went to school at community college in Philadelphia, which is where I'm born and raised. People always think I'm from New York, but I'm not. And it's so annoying, but I'm like, no, I'm from Philly.
No, it's Kimmy from Philly, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I like, you can't hear my accent, but people always get it. Like, think I'm from there. But so I went to community college in Philly, then I transferred to Pace University downtown. I started majoring in communications, and then I got an internship at Epic Records, which was like my main goal, like was to like work in music. So like that was like, you know, the end all be all like of coming to New York. Like that was my main point of being there. So I ended up getting an internship at Epic Records under Urban Promotions, and then next thing you know, like I was back to back at record labels just interning. The next one was Atlantic Records under Video, and that was under Mango.
Shout out to Manny. Yep.
Yeah, shout out to Manny. I don't know if she remembers me. And then Def Jam, which was under Digital Marketing, and then after that semester was A&R. So like that was like my main goal, like coming to New York was just like, you know, being in music. And then on the side I was like also having my own parties and stuff like that. So
when you were at Epic, I want to know, were you there when Bobby Shmurda got signed?
Yeah, well, not when he got signed. I was there when he like after he got signed. So I was there fall of 2014. So, like, whenever Bobby came, like, he was, oh my God, he was a sweetheart. Like, literally, he would light up the room. And, like, you know, he was always trying to smoke in the office stuff. They was smoking. But he was so, like, he was really good vibes, him and Rowdy. And, like, they were always, like, pleasant to be around.
That's awesome. I think you were the person who took the picture of, like, the whole staff when they came out in the elevator lobby, right?
Yes, I was. That was such a good moment. Yeah, I did take that picture. That was with LA and, like, the whole Epic Records staff. Some of them, I think, are still there. But, yeah, like, that was such a dope experience.
Yeah, looking back, and you think about New York City, and obviously you've thrown a lot of events around here. What do you miss most about being outside?
Just being able to do my job for the most part. Like, that's, like, really it. And just being able to travel. But, like, mainly, like, just being able to do my job. Like, because, you know, like, I work at Audio Max, so my job is to throw our events and stuff like that. So it's just, like, kind of hindering. And, like, that's just, like, I think that's what's getting to me the most. For the most part, it's just, like, I can't do my job like, the way I want to do it. And, like, doing it virtually isn't ideal. So, you know, but, and then as well as, like, traveling, I think I miss traveling a lot, too. Like, just being able to, you know, experience different cities and get those people within those cities. So, yeah. Yeah,
well, what did you think, and where were you when you found out that South by Southwest was not going to happen this year?
Oh, my God, I was so pissed. I was so pissed. Oh, my God, because we were supposed to be doing, like, a whole, like, you know, Audio Mac takeover. So, you know, like for the whole entire week, we having events lined up. So it was just frustrating because, you know, we were planning this, you know, and we were going to have like this big like rooftop party and stuff. So, but hopefully next year we can try again because, you know, I remember when you guys went to the Audio Mac Oasis.
Yeah.
3 years ago. Yeah. So we were trying to like do that again.
Yeah, we were actually, so we were supposed to go down to South by as well this year, because we didn't go last year, I don't think, but we were going to return this year. We had our own event lined up. We were going to stop by other people's events, and you know, we were really looking forward to it because this sort of felt like we had our bearings. You know, we knew what to expect.
It felt like a lot of momentum going into this thing, and then it's just like, you know, everything sort of stops.
And I feel bad for everyone down in Austin because it's such a main, you know, economic center for them, you know, to do this big thing every year, and all of a sudden to have it evaporate, those are jobs lost, those are, you know, people's chances taken away from them. It's just a lot gone.
Exactly. I felt really bad for the curators, especially, and as well as like the locals in Texas, like in Austin, Texas, because you know that's their main. I wouldn't say main resource, but like that's one of, you know, that's how that traffic is, you know, how they, you know, some of them are established for the year for that because it's like there's so much volume coming in. people like from people from other cities. So it's just like I just felt really bad like on their end as well as the curators who worked hard to put those events together.
No question.
So it was just like it's like because it was just like, and I don't even know if they're getting if the people that attended or they were trying to attend are getting their money back. So that also sucks.
Yeah.
So hopefully like those people that bought their badges and stuff are like getting a refund.
As someone who traveled a lot, who I'm sure intimately knew all the airports and where to eat and how the quickest way to get through places was, were you the type of person to bring Lysol already onto the plane and wipe everything down? Were you the type of person to wear your mask on the plane?
Yeah, were you Naomi Campbell?
Yeah.
Or
You know what's crazy? I really wasn't taking it serious at first. Like I was like, oh, this is just another I don't know, Ebola situation. Like I was just not taking it serious, but then I saw people were really dying, and that was that was crazy. So I was like, you know what, let me take myself out of this and just really, be more cautious and conscious of what's going on because, I don't think anyone was taking it serious at first, but now it's shit is getting real. So yeah, now at this point I'm definitely doing all of it. I'm basically Naomi Campbell.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even when it comes to just you go out grocery shop and you come back, it's I may not have really touched any doorknobs or anything, but it's straight to washing your hands, Lysol down the phone, all that stuff.
Oh yeah. But even before this, I was definitely that person that would use their sleeves to touch doorknobs and stuff on my scarf. So I wasn't even really trying to because it's just people are just not clean. So some people are just don't practice the same hygienic rules. So
yeah,
I was cautious for that.
Well, how if let's say, and this will not happen, but let's say everything opened up and they opened up all the doors and we're able to go outside tomorrow and everything is back to normal. Are you hurrying to get on a subway car? Because I'm not.
Oh man, damn, because I haven't been in New York since it started.
Yeah,
and I'm just I missed everything about New York. I've been in Philly with family, so once everything cools down, I'm going back to my apartment.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man, because I think that's a good question. I think I just missed the element of New York, so I may just be more cautious this time rather than just going all out, being careless. But I do miss New York a lot, so I might just shoot straight up there.
In terms of your work these days, everything is sort of just the rug taken out from under you. From under you.
So how do you rebound and you have been creating these online events, and so what is the thinking behind them? How do you move forward in creating them? What is your process?
Well, we do these open mics, so they're always fun. We have we brought on Ivy Rivera, and sometimes this other, he's an influencer, Dick by Air. He hosts them sometimes.
Yep.
So we have those online, so those are always fun. With that, it's just more so it's very simple. We usually have them with Move Forward Music in New York. So but we have this live. So but yeah, so this would be. As far as the process of it, it's just mostly, it's pretty much easy on this side of things because it's we have it's at random now, so we have the host, whoever's hosting, pick the artist, and I think that builds some anticipation with that. Just not knowing whether or not you're going to be picked, but it just makes you want to it's a nice surprise to be picked. So that's one aspect of the events that we've been doing. We've also been doing these panels and stuff like that, just giving artists the ins and outs of the industry, of the music industry, and what labels, what essential labels they would need as far as which not labels, but which departments are the main resources for them. And then my coworker Jason put that together. And then we've just been doing a few other interviews and stuff like that with artists. So I've been helping get some artists together for that as well.
What's your favorite concert that you've been to?
Oh my gosh, my favorite concert, Kanye, but when he was at Atlantic in Atlantic City.
What
he did?
Which tour was that?
He did two shows. I actually went to both. This was 2012, 2013. He did a show for New Year's Eve, and it was a crazy ass projection. He had a projection wall that I don't know if you saw that picture, but it was it was so wild. It was the best concert I've been to ever, because it was just like it was more intimate than your typical Kanye show. Like, yeah, so it was like really cool. And then my favorite festival was probably like Made in America 2013, like the second one. Like,
shout out to Philly.
Yes, remember when Jay-Z took a picture with the mayor? He was standing on the side.
Yeah. So what's crazy about that is you posted my article from Rolling Stone.
What?
Yeah. Back in 2012. I mean,
are you serious?
Yeah. Like my byline is on there. I'm like, that's crazy. But when
oh my God, that's crazy.
It's really crazy that this phone call has brought us together.
That's right. These days, considering that everyone's, gone fully digital, everyone knows that there's only like a few ways to reach out and touch their audience right now. What would you say is the most important form of social media? Is it Instagram? Is it Facebook? Is it Twitter? Like, what is it for you?
For me, I think Twitter, just mostly because it's like, with Instagram, people are just looking at pictures, but with Twitter, like it's more of like a journal for me and maybe other people. So it's like you can always create a thread just to get your thoughts off. And some people may be feeling the same way. And some people may not be vocal. They may feel the same way, but they may not, express that or feel that right at the moment. But I think for me, Twitter is definitely like a strong usage of social media rather than Instagram, I would say. Facebook, I don't really use it. It's more like
same.
I feel like Facebook is for the aunties and stuff.
I agree. Yeah.
Although weirdly, like a lot of young people are now going back to Facebook.
Is that true?
Yeah, because like it's people that like you knew, as opposed to like trying to front for.
I deactivated my account a couple of years ago, and ever since then, I ask both of my brothers for whose birthday it is, and so the other day, because that's really all it was just like it's a picture album and I know whose birthday it is, so I can wish them a happy birthday. The other day I wished a good friend of ours a happy birthday, and he was like, it's not my birthday. And then I was like, am I a bad friend for actually wishing him a happy birthday? And the answer,
he's a bad friend for not accepting it.
So wait, so just for the record, Kim, when is your birthday?
My birthday is February 4th.
Oh, we missed it. So are we bad friends?
Yeah. No, you guys are amazing friends.
All right, we're gonna wish you an early happy birthday for next year.
Yes.
We're the first ones to wish you a happy birthday for next year.
Yeah, in May.
Kim, we love you. Take care of yourself, and we'll be in touch. All right.
Thank you, guys. Love you. Love what you're doing too. You guys are amazing.
Shout out to Kim Chanel, shout out to Andrew Barber, and shout out to TM88. Jeff, are we back tomorrow?
We are back every day forever.
As always, guys, now for real.
Sure.
See you guys tomorrow.